I started with Telio nearly 20 years ago. We were at this time a kind of startup company and around 5 employees. We started as a company for inmate telephony in Hamburg. And then I fell in love with the area of prison. We were in this part of Europe the first to deliver special systems with the requests and the needs of prisons for inmates. And this time I realized that there's no European player, and I had, let's say, 2006, 2007, the vision, I want to be number one in Europe. And today we are not only number one in Europe, but we are in nearly in the world, because we are now in 23 countries and there's no other company 100% focused on prisons, which is working in 23 countries. And maybe it's interesting to tell, of course, there were always discussions. Shall we go in other areas as well? Hospitals or hotels. So let's call it kind of closed organizations. And I said, no. I always said, no, we stay 100% on prisons. Why? Because I believe through this focus, we know the processes in prisons around the world much better than other companies. So, and that's the story. And today, as I said, not only Europe, we're in Australia, we are in Africa, and hopefully in the next months in North America. So to be number one worldwide, this is now the next goal. This story started 16 years ago, because at this time, it was in 2006, Prison Service from Germany asked us, we need a kind of multimedia product. At this time, digital was not so famous. They called it multimedia solution, a solution to combine video, TV, radio, something like that. So that was the beginning of digital. And 16 years later, today, we are realizing that still in many prisons in Germany, around the world, they are still using a lot of paper, and there's nearly no digital solution. What for us is normal I call it in the free world, they don't have it normally in the prison. What does it mean? That means that the inmates has to live in a, let's say, more than old-fashioned environment in the prison. And there we have to think about what is the goal of a prison. It's not for me, the first goal of the prison is not a punishment. It is resocialization. And if you want to guarantee rehabilitation or resocialization to an inmate, then you have in a certain way to mirror the environment of the free world to the prison, of course. And until now, in most of the prisons, no internet, no email, zero digital service, etc., etc. So this is the resocialization character. And the other thing with the digital solution, what does it mean? Of course, it's involved telephony, it's involved a secured email system, it's involved a secured internet, but it's as well digitization of processes. For example, or an e-shop. For example, today, in most of the prisons I know, and I've been on each continent except the Antarctic, I visited prisons. So in each prison, or in most of the prisons, they have the possibility, the inmates, to buy goods in a kind of shop once a week, once a month. Today, the inmate is getting a paper with, let's say, 300 products, and he has to make a tick in the box. I would like to have the chocolate. I would like to have the coffee, whatever. And then it's a huge process to bring it to the first officer, to the administration. Then you have to check, can I read what he wrote down, the inmate? No, I cannot. Please give the paper back. Go back to the cell, etc. So it's a huge waste of time, actually, and not efficient. With digital services, only based on this example, and I could give many other examples, you can be much more efficient in a prison and spend more time to the rehabilitation of the inmate. From the perspective of the taxpayers, in the long run, it's much cheaper to digitize the prison, because we are saving a lot of money, which is, I think, clear for everyone, that when you make processes more efficient, then they are less expensive. I told you I started nearly 20 years ago. My life is now dedicated to the prisons. And in the beginning, let's say the first years, I did not think of children of inmates. The game changer was the visit of a female prison. And when I saw that there were kids, small kids as well in the prison, I started to think about. And then I found out that only in Europe we have 1 million children of inmates. And what does it mean to be a child of an inmate, father or mother? That doesn't matter. It has to be crystal clear. When you punish a father or a mother, then you punish automatically the children as well. This is high influence, and you have a lot of psychological stress. You are feeling isolated. So, but they don't have an official big lobby. No kid in the world will tell around, my father, my mother is in prison. They will tell, they left the family, they are working in South America or wherever, or in Asia, far away from my home, because nobody wants to tell it. So they are really alone. And with this foundation, Children Connecting Hearts, I want to help projects around the world to support those children of inmates. It's a digitization of the prisons. So we started now in a female prison in Berlin. We are starting in January with the digitization of all prisons in Belgium. So very exciting project, of course. And we will go on, hopefully, around the world to digitize in the next 10 years a lot more prisons. And there is no standard product. So it's about really tailor-made solutions, because each country has special requests and special needs. So, and other projects, when you ask me, is, of course, I would like to support especially the administrations of prisons, and of course both sides, the prisons, the officers and the inmates, to really bring more efficiency to the prisons, to have more time really for the smart and important things like resocialization, to have good conversations with the inmates and good programs for the inmates, like they have, for example, in Halden in Norway, the famous prison, which I think is the best prison in the world, and really to help to decrease the recidivism rate. I think that this is really important. And what is a general goal for me, what I mentioned in the beginning, is when you are working for so many years in the prison area, then you are responsible to bring to the public the right picture of the prison. Because I believe that most of the people around the world have a wrong picture about prisons. They don't understand, or because they are not confronted with that. We need to tell around the world how important prisons are, how important the resocialization are, and that there's a lot to do, and we really need to change the image of prisons in the world.